first place you need to concentrate on is at the eye. Okay guys, the first place you need to concentrate on is at the eye to make your work hyper realistic. This is the best tip. Don't always get scared of darkening the eye. I wish I knew this tip when I started. I shouldn't have made some drawings that I've been making that are not good, but since I know about this, my works have been hyper realistic and it has been really beautiful. Forget that the eye is white naturally, but based on the shadows and the shadows in the eye, that's why it becomes dark, and making it dark makes it hyper realistic. Okay, let me show you something. Now see, this is a drawing that I made last year about Cristiano Ronaldo. It's really bad. I was learning that time, but now see, the drawing is not hyper realistic. One of the reason is because of the eye. Assuming that I have darkened the eye, you will see that the drawing will be hyper realistic. But now look at the one I'm working on now. Now see the difference. This now looks real. If the eye had been white, it will not be this real. It's not that you will make everything complete white, but you darken it, make it look like a real skin. If it is a big drawing, you add the veins, add everything, it will be hyper realistic. That's the first tip you need to know. Always learn to darken your eye. Okay, the second one I'm telling you guys is shadows. Look at here, this is shadows. Under here, these are shadows. Here, these are shadows. Learn how to bring out shadows. The drawing is a light drawing, doesn't mean that I have to be afraid of the shadows or I will not bring out the shadow. Bring out the shadows in the drawing. It really helps it look hyper realistic, even if it is a light skin drawing that you are making, but where there is shadows in the drawing, bring it out. It helps to pop up. That's something that we call contrast. If you are doing editing, if you are editing photos, we see that contrast at the dark. If you increase the contrast, it will darken more the shadows. So is these shadows another thing that will make it look real, make the drawing look hyper realistic? It's another tip you need to add to your drawings. Okay, the next tip I want to teach you is detailing. What I did here is hatching and cross hatching. You hatch like this, you hatch, this is hatching, and then cross hatching is like this. This is what I did in that drawing, but I made it very tiny. This is what I did in that drawing. There is nothing else. So now at this level, what you'll be adding to make it look hyper realistic. Some artists leave it like this, but for me this is not yet good. This is just a it's like I've not finished. I have to I have to make everything come together. That's why I'll be detailing it with the method that I call scribbling. And you are not only bringing the lines together, you are also making the work look hyper realistic. As far as it's with pen, what is scribbling? Scribbling is using your pen to draw tiny circles. Okay, scribbling is using your pen to make circles like this. This is scribbling. There's nothing else about scribbling, but when you're making in a drawing, you make it smaller and more tiny, and then not the same pressure you applied. You have to make it. This is scribbling, that's all. And this is what I'll be applying in this drawing. Just keep doing it until you are satisfied with the whole thing. Scribbling is just that tiny circle. There is nothing much in it. Just play with the stuff. Even if the other time I was drawing, you will notice that you will be seeing lines here and the strokes that I made. That's the hatching and cross hatching that I made. But after the scribbling, you hardly see them. they all now look like a very smooth skin. See the face. That's what scribbling helps you to do, especially in pen drawing, in pen art. You really need to learn all these things if you want to improve, if you want to draw like a professional. Another tip is when you want to draw the hair. When you are trying to draw the hair, you don't just, the hair is, when you look at it, it looks like something scribble. You don't just start scribbling. No, you first do the hatching and cross hatching, but this time you are making it more rough, something like this. It's a black hair. Don't be afraid of it. Because this mistake, some of my students that I'm teaching, even on WhatsApp, they make that mistake. They start with scribbling. No, if you do scribbling, maybe later after you have done this hatching and cross hatching, it will just darken the hair, because the hair needs to be dark. Okay, when you are done with the hatching, you do cross hatch. Okay, now when you are done with the cross hatching, you now apply that scribbling on top of it, but this time you are not making it smaller, you are making it larger. For now, this first one you will do, you are making it larger. All these things is just to darken the thing so that it will look like a real hair. Then you can proceed to drawing normally. And note, why I'm doing it like this is because of the Mbappe's hair is small and is an African hair, is rough. If it is someone like Ronaldo or Messi, you cannot do this kind of thing. You cannot do this. You will do hatching and cross hatching on the hair before you then follow the coil, all those stuff. That's how you draw Messi and Ronaldo's hair, those kind of hair. But this kind of hair, you follow this process. Now do the scribbling, big ones. For the first time you are making it, you make big ones. Okay, now this is what I call layers for the hair. This has given me a start to start a guide to start drawing. So when you are done with this, you now start tiny scribbling on top of this, tiny scribbling on top of it. When you are doing this, as far as you have created these layers, it will make, when you are doing this this other scribbling, it will not be stressful for you. And note, you have to look at the image you are drawing. Look at it every time so that you will not make mistake. Look at the image, don't just draw offhand. And this scribbling now is tiny, but it is not light scribbling. You have to apply little bit pressure in it so that the drawing will show very well. Don't be surprised, I didn't do any more thing. I just followed the picture I was drawing to bring out all these details that you are seeing in the hair of this young man. So there is something tricky that pro artists always do at this stage. Doing at the stage where you want to make the hair hyper realistic, now you have to use your pen to bring out something like, don't make it too dark, just something like this. let it not be straight, like let the edges be curved like this. I do it many times. Almost drawing that are like this, I do it a lot, and it helps the drawing to be more beautiful. It helps it look more real. Okay, the next thing you do at this stage is use your pen and bring out tiny hairs at the edges too. You're making it more tiny, you're making it tiny, not long, not a big line, and it has to be faint. It has to look more realistic. More tips are coming. Subscribe to this channel. Do it to subscribe and like this video. It helps my channel grow. Guys, there is one last tip I would like to share with you guys. It is about the pen. Now see, this was the pen that I was using before. If you can see, look at the ink. This pen bleeds a lot. What I mean by bleeding is when you are drawing, inks come out of it. Now look here, you will see all this ink. That's because this pen is bad. You will see the thicker part. You see these thicker places is caused by this. Assuming that this thicker places was here, you know that this drawing has been ruined. But anytime your pen starts bleeding, what you will do is to change another pen, buy another one. It is affordable. You can buy it any place. It is big pen. That's what I use to draw. Big crystal original. That's what I used to use anytime I'm drawing. You buy another one so that you will not make silly mistakes that will ruin the artwork totally. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips, and for art lovers I will be drawing more videos that will make your day. Thank you.